Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video, we are going to show you all that the devil's in the details, capitalizing on some things that we have mentioned in previous video breakdowns, emphasizing on the fact that large market participants, reputable individuals, large organizations have confirmed that digital assets, i.e. cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, and stablecoins will all coexist in a regulated environment, an interoperable environment in the future. That's something that here at CYPRX we have been focusing our attention on, bringing to your attention. And then also something else that we have focused on is infrastructure, the fact that they are for a fact building this infrastructure, and then also that the regulations that they are attempting to provide on a global scale are not here to crush crypto and make it go away. Crypto is not going away, and crypto is not going to be regulated out of existence. And in today's video breakdown, we're going to prove everything that we've been saying to you guys is now updated and has been coming into fruition for some time, showing you guys some documents from the Digital Pound Foundation and so on and so forth. So if you all enjoyed these video breakdowns, again, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Always trying to bring you guys the realest information. So here on the CYPRX YouTube page, we created an infrastructure playlist for you guys. Just go to our YouTube, click infrastructure on the playlist tab, and right now there's about 10 video breakdowns. So in these specific video breakdowns, again, there's going to be more added once I go back and I find them for you all, but focusing our attention in this specific playlist is going to be video breakdowns where we talked about the infrastructure being built, where we talked about them mentioning that all of these digital assets will coexist in the future, and then video breakdowns where we confirmed that regulations are not here to completely crush crypto. So in this infrastructure playlist, again, if you're new here, make sure that you go back and you watch these video breakdowns, especially as we add more from previous video breakdowns, just so that way you have an idea of where we are at now. So before we get into the documents that are updated from the Digital Pound Foundation, as always, all of this information, shout out to the CYPRX private researchers, I find this to be very interesting. And since we are focused on infrastructure, the coexistence of all of these digital assets in the near future, always at the forefront in some way, shape, or form, involved heavily in this is Ripple. So this was just posted on this gentleman's LinkedIn profile just 2 weeks ago, but this is an up-and-coming event that's set to happen in March, and it is the Japanese FinTech Festival. Now, they have a little PDF here that you can download for the program agenda, and what I find interesting, obviously, of course, just covering real fast, if you go to the program website, Japan FinTech Festival, this is happening from the 4th to the 8th of March, and you go to the attending organizations, right? And you scroll down here, you see all these large market participants, major banks, Citi, okay, right? You got Circle, obviously, of course, we know, Jeremy Allaire mentioning that they should be using a company like Brad's company to scale
internet between counterparties. And so if we can, improve it with more scalable blockchain technologies like, Brad's company.
Right. And interestingly enough, right down here, you will see that Ripple is a attending organization here. There aren't really many other blockchain or crypto related organizations at this event. I find it interesting because at this event, if you look at the agenda outline, what they're going to be talking about, again, mind-blowing information, people are sleeping on this. It says right here, re-architecting the global financial infrastructure.
And so the key thing that's happening right now is there are huge improvements being made in what I'll just broadly call blockchain infrastructure.
Look, Ripple at its core is a blockchain infrastructure company serving enterprises. We started with payments and financial institutions. We've moved into custody, a lot of overlap with those same financial institutions. But we're going to expand with that same thematic of infrastructure, enterprise-based, that served us well.
Literally drops mic. I should end the video right there. They are for a fact completely restructuring the entire financial landscape. People are sleeping on this, and people want to tell you that XRP is a scam because they're impatient gamblers that can't wait for utility to rise. I'm telling you guys right now, you need to do your research. Ripple would not be at these events with large market participants, systemically important banks talking about re-architecting the global financial infrastructure with a stablecoin provider, i.e. Circle, providing USDC for no reason. Okay, this is all And this is all by design. And if you can't see that by now, again, go back and watch the playlist that I mentioned to you guys, the infrastructure playlist. We are going to add probably about another 5 or 10 video breakdowns to this playlist, so that way you guys can kind of just reiterate on what we've been saying. Infrastructure is being built. Coexistence of all these digital assets in a regulated, interoperable environment will exist in the future, and that regulations are not here to crush digital assets or cryptocurrencies. They're here to weed out the bad players. And there is, for a fact, bad players in this market, but there is, for a fact, really good players and really phenomenal things happening in this space as well. So moving on, now that that is out of the way, we're going to head over here to this lady, Janae Pache. I've mentioned and shown you guys some video breakdowns from her in the past. Now, this was very interesting. She put out a fundamental piece from the Bank of England, the Digital Pound Foundation, discussing and talking about the regulatory regime for systemic payment systems using stablecoins and related service providers. So we're going to head over here to this PDF, and I'm just going to solidify some things again that we have been talking about in previous video breakdowns that is now on updated information, just to show you guys that here at CYPRX, we're always attempting to provide you guys with the realest information. So do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the platform. This just goes to show that everything that we had been talking about and capitalizing our focus on back in 2023 is for a fact coming into fruition. So here you can see this document, Digital Pound Foundation response, February 2024. And we're going to scroll right down here on page 6, where it goes on to confirm. I'm going to read this for you guys. It says, the Digital Pound Foundation envisages a future in which multiple different forms of money, both public and private, and both those currently in use, so again, that's going to be cash, as well as new forms of digital money, all coexist. You see that key vocabulary word right there.
What are the design choices they're making so that those CBDCs are interoperable with stablecoins, with cryptocurrencies, with the multitude of wallets that Dave will talk about in the future?
It was interesting what came out of that, and very interesting to see CBDCs as a complement to other forms of private money. I don't think we'll have just one form of digital currency in the future. We'll have many, and they'll have different strengths.
Number 4 is interoperability. We actually think about this from day one. It's not something we think about later on. And this is all about how do we connect with the domestic system, the current system in the countries, but other systems, you know, CBDCs, stablecoins, native cryptos, they will all be part of the future. And they all need to work together. And in somehow, we need to make that happen. So we think about that a lot.
And what will be required. And that's what we think about at Ripple. We think about a CBDC as a full ecosystem that encompasses different instruments, different actors, and ultimately different use cases. So when we think about different instruments, yes, we're talking about central bank digital currency, but we're also talking about private money. We're talking about stablecoin, tokenized deposit. We might be talking about native cryptocurrencies. All of these things we anticipate coexisting in some fashion in a mature marketplace, subject to regulatory frameworks that allow for them to interoperate along different corridors. But we're building for that. We're building for that future.
Each has the potential to fill a different niche in the ecosystem and to provide enhanced consumer and business choices arising from their different characteristics. In order for our vision of diverse, competitive, and effective ecosystems for new forms of digital money to become a reality, seamless interoperability and convertibility, and above all else, preservation of the singleness of a digital pound in all its varied formats will be required. Just as bank deposits can today be converted into cash or e-money into bank deposits, the future evolution of money and payments will require equally seamless, trusted, and invisible conversion between cash, bank deposits, and e-money, and new forms of public and private digital money. Remember, in previous panel discussions that reputable individuals were on with events hosted by Ripple, physically told the world that, again, the public sector is going to provide the money, the private sector is going to be the ones to move it.
So yes, we would want it to be programmable in some sense, not by us, but by the private sector. We supply the money, the private sector makes it usable in various circumstances.
So now we're going to scroll right down here to page 34, and we're going to read this last statement where they're going to confirm that regulations are not here to crush crypto. It says, As stablecoins become more widely used and accepted as a means of payment, there is a need to ensure the outcomes of consumer protection, preservation of value of a stablecoin, and preservation of the singleness of money across all platforms of a given fiat currency. It is important to also recognize the genuine innovation that stablecoins bring to money, payments, and settlement. This arises from the underlying technologies on which they are based and their ability to leverage features such as programmability in conjunction with their nature as a barrier instrument. We fundamentally believe that any regulatory framework for stablecoins, both non-systemic and systemic, should not create undue barriers to realizing the genuine innovative potential and applications of stablecoins.
We must consider the effects if crypto assets become widespread. The scenario is not far-fetched. They may. For one, they're certainly not going away. These rules are not meant to return us to the pre-crypto world, nor to squash innovation. Neither is crypto all tainted by fraud. Like when we were in the Wild West, it was not only about crooks, it was also about creativity, development, expanding opportunities for all. Good rules can spur and guide innovation. For instance, banks are exploring new trading infrastructure using blockchain technology refined and popularized by the crypto boom. It is now so very well known to us, and it wasn't a couple of years before. They hope to cut costs and boost speed, so trillions of dollars of daily asset transactions can happen, broadening financial access to those currently content with low.
Again, just played a video clip for you all of the IMF director physically stating back in November of 2023 that regulations are not here to crush crypto, that crypto is not going away. So if you've done your research and you haven't gotten shaken out of this market and you've been paying attention to the CYPRX platform and what we've been talking about, this just goes to show that we are on a level of knowledge and information that the Bank of England is on. Because we have been talking about key vocabulary terminology like interoperability and coexistence of digital assets in the near future since way back in 2022, putting this information out to you all. So again, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button. As always, bring you guys the realest info. I will see you all in the next video breakdown. Keep your heads up out there. I know that this is a prolonged journey. Investing in the digital asset space is not easy, especially given the recent volatility that we've seen, along with individuals on Twitter and X always doubting projects, always bashing XRP, always bashing other utility-driven assets. It can be extremely hard to weed out and cut out the noise. Understand what Ripple is building and understand that they rely on the digital asset XRP, and that in the future, these financial institutions know for a fact that unlocking these blockchain protocols is the utilization of these digital assets on these blockchain networks. And when you can understand that, you can zoom out and you can see that they are building a whole entire new digital foundation, a digital infrastructure, a new financial system. That takes time. It was never going to be some overnight process that all of these bullish moon boys got ahead of themselves by pumping out, and most of individual retail investors feeding into. Again, don't feed into that narrative, zoom out. If you want immediate returns on your initial investment, learn to day trade. Other than that, long-term investing is not for the faint of heart. Again, this is a massive transformation. We get to be a part of this. It is going to take time. So with that being said, blessings to you guys. Do us a favor again, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the platform before you head off here, and I will see you all in the next video breakdown.